All right. Sit here and I'm going to go into Joel, the second chapter. Let me check and make sure I'm live and the audio is good and all of that. And then we'll proceed. Okay. Let me see here. All right. So it seems like the audio's chugging along just fine. Okay. So first and foremost, I want to give all praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rekah Hakwadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. I want to say shalom to all the brothers, of course, the few sisters pursuing this truth in sincerity. All right, may the blessing of election be upon your house. Today, we're going to go into Joel, the second chapter, and we're going to just start at the top and flow in the spirit. All right, this is Joel 2. It says, blow ye the trumpet in Zion and sound an alarm in mine holy mountain. All right, the prophets right now, what? We're sighing and crying for the abominations being done in the midst thereof. We're warning the people of what's getting ready to happen, to play out in the earth. Okay? Repent. The day of the Lord is at hand. Okay? You want to evade judgment? You want to be hidden the day of the Lord's anger? There's a particular path that you have to walk in conduct and in mind. All right? Blow ye the trumpet in Zion and sound an alarm in mine holy mountain, that all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand. Okay, Joel 2:2. A day of darkness and of gloominess. It reminds me, like it talks about the book of Amos. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? For those who haven't been walking uprightly towards Yahweh Shem Yahushua, the day of the Lord is meant for your judgment. Okay, the day of the Lord is for the elect. It's meant for their refinement and salvation. You understand? Continuing on here, Joel 2:2. The day of the Lord, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong, there have not been ever the like. So the great people and the strong is talking about the ICBM missiles. This is the fashion in which World War III, the War of Armageddon, is going to be fought. Okay? A great people and a strong, there have not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. So this time we're getting ready to step in. And the culmination of the judgment of Babylon the Great is going to outdo any time or judgment that is ever taking place. There's not going to be a place you can go and documented history or undocumented that will measure up to what the Lord is getting ready to do in our time. And to back that up, let's go briefly to Matthew 24:21. It says the same thing in Daniel 12:1 as well. It says Matthew 24:21, for then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. Okay, so the time is getting ready to play out. It's not going to be something that people could just shrug off. This is the climax of the Lord's movie. And for those who do not have access to the covering, a great judgment is about to come upon you. All right. Back to Joel 2:3. It reads, a fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yeah, and nothing shall escape them. So the great people and the strong, talking about the ICBM missiles in verse 2, is saying before them, the land is like paradise. Everything's cool. There's landscape, there's different terrain. But once these missiles touch Babylon the Great, it's going to eviscerate, and it's going to be like a desolate wilderness. So it's talking about the landscape being changed here. All right. This place is going to be a memorial unto many generations on what it looks like when you follow after evil. You understand? Okay, so let's go on to verse 4 here. It says, the appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as horsemen, so shall they run. All right. When horses run, they kick up dust behind them. So we got to realize, when the prophets were seeing these visions of what's getting ready to play out, they were using terms relevant to them in their time, concepts relevant to them in their time, to illustrate the visuals that they were seeing. They didn't have the modern terms that we have today. So he's describing, characteristics of these missiles that he's seeing, the weaponry that he's seeing. So when horses run, they kick up that dust behind them. The same as the ICBM missiles, they have that smoke behind them. All right. Goes on to say in verse 5, like the noise of chariots on the tops of mountains shall they leap, like the noise of a flame of a fire that devoureth the stubble, as a strong people set in battle array. Before their face the people shall be much pain, because when those missiles, those alarms go off warning people 15 minutes before the missiles hit, people are going to be in great distress because they're going to know it's no escape. They don't got any bunkers to go to like the elites. So when the missiles are getting ready to hit, man, people are going to be in great distress. On top of that, simultaneously as the missiles are falling, the scriptures talk about the elect being beamed up. So they're going to be seeing the elect being beamed up. That's Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter. When the people, you go into the inner dialogue of the people that's going to be destroyed, and they're seeing the elect being taken up, and they say, this was he who we sometimes had in derision, and a proverb of reproach. I love Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter. It's the I told you so chapter. All right, for those who cross the finish line. Now verse 6 again, it says, before their face people shall be much pain, all faces shall gather blackness. Okay. Verse 7, it says, they shall run like mighty men, they shall climb the wall like men of war. Okay. Now in ancient cities they would be surrounded by walls and gates to protect the people. You have the watchmen on the gates and the towers watching. The modern day wall around countries will be their missile defense systems. Here is telling you that those missile defense systems are not going to work against the missiles that are shot. One, because the Spirit of the Lord is going to be upon the missiles to hit their targets. Okay. Two, America's so proud that they don't think they need to update it. All right. We had Trump a few years back talking about, oh, I'm going to build a golden dome, but it's not going to do anything. The Lord has ordained this to happen. And again, you guys heard me talk about plot armor before. So regardless of what anybody does, whatever's written in the script is going to play out. Whatever the director has for the scene to happen in the scene, that's what's going to happen in the scene. Okay. Also, Israel's defense systems is not going to protect them either. Joel 2:7 again from the top. It says, they shall run like mighty men, the missiles. They shall climb the wall like men of war. They shall march everyone on his ways, and they shall not break their ranks. So they're going to hit their targets regardless of any missile defense systems. This is the end of Babylon the Great, the main corporation the small hats use to thwart their agenda. Going on in verse 8, he says, neither shall one thrust another. They shall walk everyone in his path, and when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. So even when they do get intercepted by a missile, the Spirit's going to be on those missiles to where they just power on through and keep going. Man, people are going to be in great distress. Okay, we win at the end of this thing, guys. All right. Joel 2:9. They shall run to and fro in the city. They shall run upon the wall. They shall climb up upon the houses, and they shall enter in at the windows like a thief. Okay, the city is talking about is Babylon the Great, America. Revelation 14:8. That great city. Let me see. Let me go get that. That's where it's at, right? Revelation 14:8. Yep. And there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, that great city. There you go. Because she hath made all the nations drink of the wrath of her fornication. Of course, the wine there is talking about America's philosophies. Okay. Now we're back in Joel 2 in verse 10. It says, the earth shall quake before them, and the heavens shall tremble. The sun and moon shall be dark. They have darkness and not light, right? And the stars shall withdraw from their shining. All right. When missiles hit, they create those big mushroom clouds, that dark cloud and that aftermath debris, which just overclouds the area. And they have a thing called nuclear winter. You can look that up. So yeah, it's going to be a dark time, metaphorically and literally. All right. And after the war is settled, man, we're gonna get all the nations to clean all that bullshit up. All the pollution, all that's gonna be cleaned up. The earth is gonna be refreshed. But this has to happen first, okay? The same way that the evil of the wicked has to be revealed as well. All there's things that have to play out, man. You just gotta let The Lord knows what he's doing, and we got to let things run its course. All right? Joel 2:11. And the Lord shall utter his voice before his army, for his camp is very great. All right? He's going to completely eviscerate all the armies of the earth. And I think that's in 2 Ezra, the 13th chapter. We might go into that later today when I get a little bit more time. All right? Joel 2:11. The Lord shall utter his voice before his army, for his camp is very great, for he is strong that executeth his word. For the day of the Lord is great and very terrible. Who can abide it? All right. So, I just wanted to go through that first portion of Joel, the 2nd chapter, just to go into, hey, we win at the end of things, man. This place isn't going to continue on in its evil. It's not going to succeed. It's going to be eviscerated and judged for all the evils that it perpetuates. Okay, like it talks about in Habakkuk 2, man. They've forced their philosophy, their way, their moral compass on all of the earth. And the only way for them to truly be uprooted is by supernatural means. Okay, the scriptures made this man unbeatable carnally. He made this man unbeatable when it comes to dealing with other mortals. But as the scriptures say, the Lord isn't going to meet this man as a mortal. He's not going to meet him as a man. He's going to meet him as an angelic power. And that's what we're waiting on. Okay? Because right now, all the wickedness being revealed by this devil is basically like his charges being read out in a courtroom. All right? When you go to the next chapter, in Joel, the 3rd chapter, where it talks about them being brought to the valley of Yehoshaphat, all the nations being gathered in that region of the earth, that's where the sentencing takes place and the judgment takes place. Okay, for all the evils that have been done. So justice is going to be had, and man, I've been yearning for justice, especially as of late. All right, but it's going to be had. We just got to be patient, play our part. So Aparat Zazah, the lesson was edifying. I want to give all praises once more to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yabshai, Bahashim, Rakah, Wadash. I want to give double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. I want to say shalom to all the brothers and, of course, the few sisters who are pursuing this truth in sincerity. All right, may the blessing of election be upon your houses. Shalom.